Hi, my fellow comic collectors. This video is going to be another unboxing video. Uh, Basically, an unboxing without the boxing, because in the last 2, 3 days, I got a whole bunch of comics, probably several $1,000s worth of comics, and just a whole bunch of really cool ones came in the mail, and I just wanted to sort of share it with you. I basically put it all into one box because it was actually like 10 boxes. But this is what I'm going to show you. What's inside the box? Okay, so inside is a whole bunch of raw comics. I'm going to show you these. Now, just so you know, the kind of style of collecting that I do is I really like to collect key comics from movies that I like. I'm kind of weird that way. I like, getting the stories, getting the characters from movies that I really enjoy, or TV series, or things like that. So these are in that vein, really. Okay, so the first one is this one. Sunfire and Big Hero 6, #1. And it is the first appearance of Big Hero 6, as in the movie Big Hero 6. So it's like all the characters. See? Okay, so that's the first one. Now this one is not from a movie or anything like that, but I don't know, the same person that sold the Big Hero 6 also had this, and I was like, it's like 10 bucks. Why not buy it? It is the first appearance of Aquaboy, not a major character in any particular way. It looks like he dies in the in the first appearance, so I didn't even read it yet. So yeah, I'm going to check it out later. But it's a really high grade, and it's a fairly old comic, so I thought, why not buy it? So that's Aquaboy first appearance, it's in Superboy number 171. Okay, so if you ever want to get the first appearance of Aquaboy, that's where you get it. This one is one that I've been wanting for like 20 years now. And it's kind of a very special comic. I think you'll appreciate it when you see it. It's Crow #1. And this is a first print. This one, you can't really see it, but it actually suffered a lot of water damage. So I got it cheaply. It was like a couple $100. If this wasn't water damaged, it'd be a couple $1,000, just to give you a sense of the value. Now I'm thinking that it's actually one of those comics that you could probably press out the defect. So I'm going to try getting it pressed, and hopefully it will look like a high grade. I don't know if it's going to work, but if it does work, I basically take a couple $100 comic and make it worth maybe $1,000. So it's a rare comic, first print of The Crow. And the way you can tell it's a first print is if you open it up, you can check the date. It doesn't say first, second, or anything like that. It just says February 1989. And that's how you know that it's a first print. So if it says some other month, then it's a second or third print. Now, sometimes I like to get series of comics. And so somebody had a whole collection of comics where it was a whole series. So this is the complete series of Batman Beyond. So this is the first appearance of Batman Beyond. And there's like a whole bunch of comics. Now there's a couple first appearances within the Batman Beyond series. The big one, though, that everyone seems to like is Ink. This is the first appearance of Ink. So yeah, just a kind of cool little series. I paid, I think it was 150 to 200 range, I think, with all the shipping and everything all together. So not too bad for the whole collection. Batman Beyond #1 can go from anywhere from $100 to $200 depending on the condition. And these ones are all in near mint condition. Even Ink goes for a couple, maybe 100 to a couple $100 too. So, not a bad little set. Another one that I just picked up, and this is a free comic book day one, is, it wasn't free. I think I paid like 10, 20 bucks for it. Is Amazing Spider-Man free comic book edition. And this is the first appearance of Jackpot. Now, Jackpot is kind of rumored to be in the next Spider-Man movie. Whether that's true, and there's actually two different Jackpots. So if I'm right, I hit the jackpot, and I maybe got the right version of Jackpot. So this is the one where I think they're more suggesting that this is the one that will be in the next movie though. Okay, so those are the raw books, but then I got a whole bunch of slabs inside, and the first one is a pretty major comic, and I'm sure people that collect comics will recognize it. It's Werewolf by Night, number 32. This is the first appearance of Moon Knight. Now, Moon Knight's kind of a cool character, kind of like everyone says he's kind of like the Batman of Marvel. So he's got like silver, and he can beat up werewolves quite nicely because of his silver gauntlets and stuff. So yeah, so it's a kind of a cool character, Werewolf by Night, number 32. I think I paid about $400 for this, so it's a really pricey book. It's one that's constantly going up, and there's a series that's going to be on Disney Plus, or they might make a movie out of it that's coming up for Moon Knight. So this one is set to rise. So it's a really good one to pick up now before it gets way out of range of most people's buying capabilities. Next one is just a really nice cover. I just thought it was a really nice cover. Is Batman number 90. And it's just this really, is a variant cover. And it's just a Martina cover. It's just a nice, Riddler kind of cover. And, it's part of the whole Punchline series, or, it's just kind of a cool comic. Okay, so that was just a cool cover. I picked that one up. It was like $30. So, this is just a cool cover. It's also part of the whole Punchline series. So, I kind of liked it. So, why not get a nice slabbed version? So, yeah, it wasn't expensive. So, that was worthy of getting. Now, here's another major slab that I got. And this is Tomb of Dracula number 10. And this is a character I really, really like. It's the first appearance of Blade, the Vampire Slayer. Now, Blade was originally done by Wesley Snipes, and I was a big fan of the series. I really loved it. I just thought he was so badass. And it's just, it's cool to get his first appearance. They're planning on making a new series of Blade movies. So I'm really looking forward to that. I just think it's really cool. He's half vampire, half human, and he goes around fighting vampires. It's just a cool series. And I just, I think it's so cool to finally get his first appearance. Now, this one, I think it cost me, again, $300 to $400 range, I think it was. And, it's a mid-grade. It's like a 5.0. Again, this one is set to be a very expensive book in the future when the movie comes out. So if you're going to buy comics, try to buy it like at least a year before the movie comes out, or after the movie's been out for about a year. So, when it starts to get soft again. So usually if you buy it to, a few months before the movie, then it's too late. You're going to be paying huge price for it. But usually after the movie's over, it can fade a bit. So the next one this is just one I saw. It was like so cheap. I thought, why not buy it? It's like, it was just so cheap. It is another free comic one. It's Summer of Spider-Man number 1. And believe it or not, this is actually the first appearance of Carol Danvers as Captain Marvel. So I think it says that. It says previews, and it previews what? Yeah, it doesn't say. But it says introducing the new Captain Marvel. So this actually came out before the comics. So it's considered to be her first appearance as Captain Marvel. And if you look at the Captain Marvel book, it's a few $100s. It's a fairly pricey book. I have it as well, but this one is kind of the true first appearance of her as Captain Marvel. And this cost me like $20. I was like, why not? Like, it's all cased. It's been graded. It's a 9.8, and it was $20. Why not? So I thought that was pretty good pickup. Okay, so this one is kind of an interesting one. This is Fantastic Four number 18. It's the first appearance of Super Skrull, and in the next either Fantastic Four or like maybe Captain Marvel or one of those movies, they're planning on having what's called maybe Secret Invasion. I think it's Secret Invasion, where basically the Skrulls are trying to infiltrate the humans, us, because they can change shape. They can look like us. So I'm thinking that, so this is kind of a cool first appearance of Super Skrull, and that's, the character. So I just thought, I don't know. I thought it was a cool character. I liked it, so that's why I picked it up. And it's a very low grade. It's actually a pretty pricey book in high grade. Even this low grade, it cost me $100. It's even for a low grade, it's like a 2.5. You can see a big chip out of there. That's why it's such a low grade. But it still actually looks nice. It has actually the new, how they're now putting the new labels in with like the different characters. I don't know. It's kind of cool. So not too bad. Like it was like a little bit pricey for the grade. Another one. Next slab is Aquaman number 1. Now this is a big book in terms of, I paid a couple $100 for this. It's a low grade, 3.5, a little bit higher grade than the other one, but this one, is something I like Aquaman. I grew up watching Aquaman on TV, so this is kind of like nostalgic for me. So I didn't like the movie. I really hated the movie actually, but I liked the character of Aquaman. And, this is the way I always imagine Aquaman. He's kind of like a very Atlantean looking, where he's like the blonde haired, kind of like, kind of thin build kind of guy. And I kind of, this is the way I imagine Aquaman looking, sort of Greek look to him. So yeah, so I don't know. It's just kind of a cool comic to pick up. First Aquaman from 1962. And again, that cost me a couple $100. Next one is, I'm sort of picking up more and more of these ones from this the one I'm about to show you. It's Mr. Miracle number 4. Now I have like a whole bunch of Mr. Miracles. I have like pretty much all the major appearances that happen in Mr. Miracle. So there's Mr. Miracle 1, which is his first appearance. There's Mr. Miracle number 2, which is Grandma Goodness' first appearance. And there's this one, which is the first appearance of Big Bertha. Now, Big Bertha is actually Mr. Miracle's wife. So it's just a kind of a cool first appearance. And she's kind of a major character that kind of reappears later. I think she gets killed in one of them, but then she comes back. I don't know. They always come back. But yeah, so it's just kind of a cool comic. I'm really getting into Mr. Miracle. I read a lot of these things online, so I don't actually read the actual comics, but I read them, the digital versions online. So, I don't want to ruin my own comics. I just want, but I like having them just because I like the characters. Okay, and the last one is another character I really, really like. And this is Swamp Thing number 37. And for those who do not know, this is the first appearance of John Constantine. And it's just a very cool character. John Constantine is basically a guy that fights demons, and they just came out with Justice League Dark. where he's kind of a major character in that. And there was actually a John Constantine movie like a few years back with what's his name? Why am I blanking on his name? Keanu Reeves. And you know, it was a good movie. I really liked the movie, and I actually liked John Constantine before that movie. I even have Hellblazer #1, which is another John Constantine kind of first series with John Constantine. So I'm just a big John Constantine fan. I just like the whole idea of magic and fighting against demons and stuff like that. So just a very cool character. So this is his first appearance. It's in the high grade. This cost me about a couple $100 as well. So pretty expensive lot of comics that I just showed. And it was just cool that they all came within the last few days. So I was kind of excited. So yeah, so I hope you enjoyed this video. It just shows you all the comics that I've been buying. There's a bunch more that are coming actually. So I think maybe this whole coronavirus situation, being stuck at home, makes me shop too much. I need to get out more, I think. So, but I hope you enjoyed the comics, and yeah, see you in the next video. Bye.